Hello, everyone. There's a couple people here. Hi, Taz. Hello. Ooh, you got a haul from Atlas Stationers. I'm so jealous. So jealous. um, yes. So I wasn't able to film a weekly recap on Sunday as I typically do, which I'll talk about in a moment. So I figured I would do it all as part of this and then do a plan with me as well. Hi, Brittany. Thank you for joining us. Hi, Miss Marilyn. All right, so I think what I'll first do is get into the weekly recap because there may be some individuals that are just here for that. And then I'll get into my planning for today. I do have a little bit, just a tiny bit of white wine that I will sip on as we go through. And I do have I have my laptop over here so I can keep up with the comments and such. And then I have my Hobonichi cousin in this case right here. I have my Hobonichi day free in this case right here. And then I do have an iPad, which is what I'll use to look at my sent emails and things like that. All right, so getting into my weekly recap. All right, so Sunday, I already talked about last Sunday, the 8th, and so I'll pick up where I left off. I'm just looking at the view. This looks a little blurry to me, but I'm not sure. Hopefully it's okay. All right, so on Monday, I was utilizing a Ferris wheel press brush pen with a fine nib, and that is inked up with Ferris wheel press Workshop Wishes, which is this beautiful tan color that does have a shimmer to it. And I can appreciate, hi Aries, how are you? I can appreciate that there are folks that do not ever put a shimmer ink in a fine nib. I have used a shimmer ink in an extra fine. I have used it in a fine. Sometimes it goes really well. Sometimes it does not. This particular brush pen has not necessarily handled shimmer wonderfully. But what I did find is when I used this pen and ink combination for an entire week, because I was using it every day, it held up really well. When I stopped using it every single day, that's where I did see that the feed started to clog. And so you can see a little bit here where the feed was clogged, and I just went, unscrewed the body and primed it, and it ended up writing very, very beautifully. Ooh, Miss Marilyn, what am I picking two colors for? All right, so Monday was Indigenous People Day, and I will be very honest, I didn't necessarily do anything to celebrate Indigenous People Day outside of enjoying the fact that I had the day off of work. I ended up feeling a little negative about that on, sorry. For those of you that haven't done a live with me, I get very distracted by the comments. I answer them as much in real time as I possibly can. So Miss Marilyn Darling has been exploring the world of using an iPad to do calligraphy, and I have been loving, even seeing in the last week, the progression of your calligraphy using, I'm assuming, an Apple Pencil that does the sensitive responding based on the pressure that you put on a screen. And I would be interested, Miss Marilyn Darling, in hearing what application you're using. It looks to me like it could be, what is it called? Sorry, I'm going to pull out my iPad right here. Procreate, maybe? Yes, Procreate. Okay. That's what I was thinking based on what I was watching you do. But I love the progress that you've made so far. So, congratulations. Um, so, I think I'm going to say green and purple for my two colors. I've always loved those two colors together, especially like a sage green and a lighter purple. So, I think those would be my colors. All right. Yes. So, getting back to Monday, I didn't necessarily do anything to celebrate Indigenous People Day, but I did enjoy a day off of work, and I ended up going for a run on a treadmill for 4 miles. I was noticing that I was getting stuck in the 3 mile range, and so I really wanted to push myself to get past that 3 mile. So I made it just over 4, and I was very happy and pleased with that. I also scheduled some work to be done on my car on this day. And so, because I was so frustrated with the work and the money that it was going to cost, I ended up calling it a car spa day. And that was supposed to make it feel better. But it ended up being more expensive than what I even thought. And so, I had to get an oil change. I needed to get my transmission fluid flushed, which I didn't anticipate that. But apparently, I was 20,000 miles overdue for it. And then I did need to replace 2 tires, which I knew that my car failed its inspection because I needed to replace these 2 tires. And when I went to get them replaced, they asked if I wanted to get I think it was an alignment. I think that's what it was. And my gut response was nope. And the person working there said, "Is there a reason you're saying no?" And I just kind of laughed and said, "Because I don't want to spend the money." Hi, M. Sean Plans. Welcome. So that car spa day was over $800 of car work, and duh. But it's done. I haven't had a car payment for over a year. So when I have these moments where I'm having to pay for repairs, I just remind myself that I'm not paying a car payment. So this was, just maybe 2.5 months worth of a car payment. So if I can get my car through 2.5 months, it's worth it. And, my car only has 85,000 miles on it. So I'm hoping I can keep it for another year. Yes, Taz, those look like hearts to me, and my heart was definitely pounding out of my chest as I looked at the numbers, and especially the transmission fluid flush was not anticipated. So that was another $190 that was unbudgeted. But it's done. It's done. Yay. And while my tires were getting changed out, I walked over to an Applebee's that was in the same plaza and had a glass of wine, and I got carded. Y'all, I'm 40. I got carded. Very happy about that. Tuesday, our oil tank at our house had a tune up. And so I had to rush home to get there for the technician who was there. I also had some cramps. Sorry, that's TMI, but I do have endometriosis. So when I say I have cramps, I really have cramps, not diminishing anyone else's struggle. But yeah, so that was tough to be at work while navigating that. And I was walking around asking people, do you have Aleve? For whatever reason, really high doses of Aleve has been the only thing that's been helpful. Thank you, Miss Marilyn, darling. I do think I'm young looking, and I make it a joke and say I identify as 23. Not that I really think that I look like I'm 23, but it was very flattering to get carded. Yeah, and it definitely was an ego boost. I did some more work on Google Sheets, which I talked about in my last YouTube live, and I'll get to that as I get closer to today. I figured it out. I'm so happy. My husband got the first big important gift that I got him was a Timex watch, And over the years, which when I say over the years, it's been over 15 years that he's had this watch, he's had to replace the screen. And then he most recently, the clasp that held it together needed to be repaired or replaced. And it was only $15 to replace it. So it was good. So he had that done on Tuesday. Wednesday, I had a very long day. I had meetings where people felt their feelings out loud. They had a lot of emotions, and that's always hard to be in a meeting with people that are very frustrated to a point where they're crying. But I'm also no longer in a leadership role. Yay me. So not my circus, not my monkeys. But it was interesting. The administrator that was there pulled me in for a post meeting and said, have you ever experienced this type of situation? And I was like, yep, and then some. So I'm very happy that I made the career decisions that I made and that it's no longer my burden to have to carry all of that. But I certainly want to do my part to make their work days better so that they're not feeling those big emotions. And then on the way home, my son and I went to McDonald's, and I had a moment at this new job of, people sending emails asking for support. And I ended up calling up a colleague who's acting as my mentor right now and just saying, hey, I'm noticing I'm engaging in some self-preservation right now where I'm worried about how my work is going to be perceived. Can you just talk this through with me? And we came up with a game plan, which I'm very much focused on solution-oriented as opposed to just commiseration, because that's not productive. So I'm working on really practicing that, especially in this role. And then I had a board of director meeting Wednesday night for the charity that we're working on starting. On Thursday, the pen that I used Thursday is a Noveler or Narwhal, Nautilus Voyager in Tromso. And I know that Karina Loves to Plan just did a video. Her Tromso had the same issue that my first one did. And I wish that I had the opportunity to see her video before all of my situation played out, because I would have been able to save that pen and still have it in my collection, because it turns out it was fixable. But anyway, this is inked up with Sailor 50 States, New Hampshire, which is this lovely grayish purple. And so I put out some decorations at our house. I made these little ghosts, using tomato plant holders and some balls and the white sheet. And so now I've got 4 ghosts in our front yard. My neighbor actually sent me a text message that said, so while the ghosts are really cute during the day, they're terrifying at night. Exactly what I was going for. And I did a treadmill run on Thursday, and it was payday, which that felt a lot better after my big spending day on Monday. Friday was a very busy day. Interestingly, as the day went on, I was feeling more and more under the weather, and sorry for being graphic, but I had really severe diarrhea, and it started while I was at work and then went into the evening. So I was actually hoping to do karaoke with some friends of mine Friday evening, but I ended up having to bail on that because I just was so tired. And so I got home from work. I had another board meeting for another board of directors that I'm on. And my family and I, we watched Blair Witch Project that evening. And then before I went to bed, I was watching Love is Blind on Netflix. And interestingly, the venue that they did their weddings at is the venue that my cousin got married at. And so I'm watching it going, hey, that looks really familiar. And so it just ended up being a really nice way to end that day. Taz, I love your pen check, and I would love to hear what everyone has used today, what your pen is and what you have it inked up with. Because I get fascinated by that. And also, Taz, I'm so jealous that you have Mont Blancs. I really want to try a Mont Blanc. I did go to a Mont Blanc store in Boston this past winter, but the pens that they had on display for trialing out were so used and abused. They were, what's the phrase, rode hard and put away wet. And it just made me sad. And I kept waiting for someone who worked there to come over so I could ask them to swap out the pens for ones that didn't have busted up nibs. But I don't think the people that worked there really knew anything about fountain pens, so they wonderfully avoided me. Neon yellow private reserve. Interesting. Yeah, I could imagine a neon yellow being really challenging for everyday writing, but definitely I feel like it would pop with some black light. And M. Sean Plans, anything with Pennsylvania Fieldstone, that is right up my wheel, right in my wheelhouse. I actually was thinking today I needed to ink it up because I gave it a break because I had used it for months and months, but now I'm done with my break. I'd like to get back in there. So then Saturday, my husband's parents, I'm so happy that I inspired you. It's such a beautiful ink. I love it. I want everyone to have it. Saturday, my husband, his parents and his sister came to see my son's soccer game. I also did a 5-mile run on the treadmill on Saturday morning and did a little bit of work from home on Saturday. And after the game, which my son's team won 4-2, which I'm so happy for them and proud of them, we went to a local brewery and that serves some seltzers, and we each got a beverage. We got some fries and we played some cribbage. And then we got home and my husband and I got tacos for takeout. So it was a nice Saturday. On Sunday, and so certainly I do have to be careful with the level of detail that I give out, but hi, Manda B. Y'all, Inksplat is here. Oh my gosh, I'm fangirling. Hi, Amanda. Oh my gosh. All right. Play it cool, Erin. Play it cool. Whew. Okay, so I have talked a little bit about a student that I worked with that because of this student, I rode in a cop car for the first time. This student ended up getting a special place in my heart. We worked with DCF and got Corey background checked, and they came to our home and did a home check. So this young man came to my home on Sunday for the first time. And it was wonderful. My son and I both went and picked him up at the group home that he lives at on Sunday morning. And he came, and you could feel kind of the testing out the waters on between he and my son on Sunday to see if they had common interests. They played video games together. They played basketball in our driveway. They did some archery. They did a ball toss with our dog. My neighbor kind of identified that she felt like an auntie for him, and she made him cookies. Because of his past with being homeless at times, he actually is very particular about food, and if anyone touches his food, he will not eat it. And then he'll get really upset that then he's worried that he's not going to be able to eat. So I had shared some information with her. So she individually wrapped each cookie for him, and she got him a little Halloween bag with some treats. And when he first got here, I asked him if he had breakfast. He said no. He asked if he could cook. So he made scrambled eggs. He made some sausage. For lunch, he made ramen, not only for himself, but also for my son, and offered to make me lunch as well. I went and picked up a grocery order, and he helped bring the groceries in. He helped make dinner, and I taught him how to make mashed potatoes. He made Reese's peanut butter cup brownies, and then as the day went on, he kept trying to negotiate staying later. And so I was able to say very, very firmly, look, buddy, it's your first time. The deal was I'm going to return you at 7. But, this did go really well, so we can look at having you over for longer in the future. But I need to be respectful to the plans that were made. And then I think, honestly, my favorite part is as I drove him back to his program Sunday evening. Hi, Fritz. As I drove him back, I just gave him my phone and said, go ahead and put on whatever music you wanted. And at one point, he put on Tracy Chapman, Fast Car. And that is a very special song that my friend and we listen to every time we get together. That's our whenever we're in a car together song. And I ended up calling her after and telling her that was the song he chose. And she was like, oh my gosh, I have goosebumps. So anyway, it was a really, really, really lovely day. And I did an email summary to his caseworker and his DCF worker, and hopefully we can make plans to do something else in the near future. So yeah, that was kind of my that. So this is why I wasn't available to do anything on Sunday because I filmed my weekly plan with me Sunday morning before I went to pick him up. And then I focused my entire day on that. So Aries, the orange ink, it's from Diamine Inkvent 2021. It's called Wonderland. And this brown ink is Ferris Wheel Press Workshop Wishes, which has this lovely shimmer. So yeah, that was my week. Now looking at my memory keeping. So I did pre-plan out some stickers that I could place on here. And so I am going to do that. So certainly, I did have some discomfort on Monday. So I'm going to put that sticker right there. And I also pulled out, so I have the Terrible Day set by Coffee Monsters Co. And I would not say that any of my days were terrible. However, Friday the 13th happened, and it was Friday the 13th in October. And I don't, this is a panicked face. I actually loved it. It made me so happy to have a Friday the 13th in October. So I wanted to put that there. I grabbed out the soccer for my son's soccer game. And I have been on an avocado toast kick recently. So I'm going to take advantage of, that's not going to fit. All right, maybe I won't. Save it. I grabbed out this little Happy Munchkin right here so that I could put that for my Sunday because, that's out of frame, because Sunday was that happy day. And then I wanted to put this tired pigeon. It might not fit. You know what? I'm going to make it fit. Tired pigeon right here for Friday because that is accurate. I'm going to put this salty icon or sticker for Wednesday because of some of the conversations that I had at work. And I wanted to add a treadmill in here. There's that. I'm going to add this little working emoji onesie right here. We did all watch a movie on Sunday as well. I had our typical coffee on Friday morning, so that's going to go there. And let's see. I'm going to put this cloth and paper dot and add a heart to it because I did some nice YouTube filming on Monday where I'm trying to color organize all my inks, and so in the process of doing that, I'm going ahead and doing some color family ink swatching. And so I did a lot of filming for that while I was home on Monday for the holiday. And that was I felt like a really nice use of that time. And I think I'm just going to add this little upset emoji because that was a lot of money that I had to spend on Monday. So there's that. All right. And that wraps up my weekly recap. There we go. So Fritz, I will tell you the Coffee Monsters Co., in my opinion, the stickers are not insanely priced, which I love. I think it's like $3-4 a sheet, and that's not terrible. There's a huge variety, and so I started building out an order for Coffee Monsters Co. stickers, and when I looked at what my cart was and it was over $100, I said, you know what, not today, not doing it. So I'm pausing on placing an order. I may wait until the next sale comes, because Helen from the Coffee Monsters Co. will do some sales. All right, so Taz, how many pens do you have now? Because I am officially wildly envious of your collection. Let's see, I did send that email. All right, I'm gonna get. Yes, Coffee Monsters Co. is very dangerous. I would highly agree with that. All right, so I'm just going to pull up my sent mail so that I can document what I did today. Yeah, so Q, I think I'm pretty similar, that I'm on a pen and ink buying hiatus. But what I am doing is each paycheck, I'm allocating a small amount of money towards buying a new pen. So right now I have about $125 that I could put towards buying a new pen. And so I'm just going to build it up. And there are now 2 pens that I would really like. The first one is a Leonardo Momento Zero Grande. And the second is Laban has a art-inspired pen that's yellow, and it comes with a bottle of gray ink, and it also comes with a notebook that has Tomoe River paper, and that's another pen that I really want. And that one's only $160-ish, I think. I say only, that's a lot though. Yeah, and Amanda B, how many inks do you have? I am constantly impressed with your ink collection, and I wish, like, I feel like you should take a picture of all of your ink. All right. So going through, when I do my end of day planning, the first thing that I like to do is I like to go through my sent email and capture all of that because those are action items that I did throughout the day. And a lot of times those emails are the things that are 2 minutes or less. You just get them done to get them done, but it's still things that you did. And as I'm going back through and I want to look at what my day looked like, that's where I really want to capture those things. Let me just get this positioned the way I want it. So I had to give my my phone number to a teacher that just returned from a leave. I've been working on a behavior support plan for a student, and I was at a point where I was ready to share the draft with a couple of team members so that they could weigh in on it. And because that teacher returned on Monday, I have been partially covering their role since the beginning of the school year. And so this just wildly opened up so much time for me. And it was interesting because Monday I felt like I was able to take a deep breath and kind of focus on what my job actually is. So I did a lot of clerical work yesterday with organizing systems. And I talked a little bit about it in my weekly plan with me that I have built out a OneNote system to digitally track notes on students as well as action items and to-do lists and things like that. And I didn't talk about this in my weekly plan with me, but I do have a OneNote page where it has links to all of the documents that I frequent. So I call it like a landing page. It's a reference page. So if someone shares a document with me using Google Workspace, I grab a link and I put it in that landing page for quick reference wherever I am. And so I was able to build a lot of that out on Monday. I was able to, on an online platform where the students' individualized education programs are, I was able to create a caseload there. And fun fact, I have over 50 students on my caseload right now. So that was a little eye-opening to see that number. And it was more eye-opening to realize that many of them I haven't had any contact with because I've been covering this other role. So on Monday, I reached out to a bunch of special educators and just basically said, hey, here I am. This is my role. We have some students that we share. Or like basically, here's a heads up. I'm going to be popping in to see you. So today I actually did go over to the high school and I met a number of those special educator liaisons. I also reached out to some others to say, we need to schedule our October consult. We're halfway through the month. We need to get that on the books. And I'm trying to help out another classroom by putting together a daily data sheet, but I wanted their template so that I wasn't recreating a wheel. Oh, Taz, you're so nice. Thank you. So all of the money that I get from YouTube will go towards a new pen. And it definitely is slow and steady. I don't have a following where I'm going to be making thousands of dollars. If I make $100 a month, that's going to be a good month. Based on my trends right now, I'm probably going to be able to cash out, because Amazon does a payment when you hit $100. I probably will get there every 2 to 3 months. And obviously, like, that's great. This is my passion. This is a hobby. And the fact that occasionally there'll be some financial gains, like, that's amazing. I'm very, very pleased with that. So thank you, Taz. Every little bit that it's literally going into this channel, into this hobby, and it will help me to get those pens that are on my wish list. And then if people are saying that they would like for me to review a specific pen, for example, I had a viewer that had asked for me to review the white Bailey Cross Light rollerball pen. So I was able to purchase this on Amazon and did a quick introduction of this at the end of a video recently. Let's see, just looking at, did I put this in? No, I did not. Whoops, did I not write that? Oh, that is with a C. Man, I hate when I spell words wrong. So I was asked to go to another district to do a training, and that's coming up on October 24th. So I had to put in for a partial day off of work that day so that I can go do that training. All right. And let's see, phone number. Oh. So my office space, I showed up at the building that my office was in today, and my office was locked and I didn't have a key for it yet. So thankfully I was able to go to the building office and they had a key already ready for me. They thought that they had already given it to me. So now I have a key to my office. I feel very official. So that's really nice. And then let me just pull up my OneNote because I think, oops. All right. So I started working on that. I have started working on that. Those are not, I requested all of those BSPs. I requested all of that data. I started working on that. Good. And then today I ended up going to all of the district buildings today. I planned to go to the high school, and then I got called to a student emergency at the upper elementary, and a staff member at the lower elementary said that they needed just a quick 5-minute conversation. So I did that, and then I ended my day at the middle school. So I went to all the buildings today. That's not my favorite, but I did it. And then that is done, and that is done. I have been able to still work out every day, and I started my journaling and my memory keeping. So that is my plan with me. Sorry, just getting caught up on the comments. So Dracula is a beautiful ink, Fritz. It's a beautiful ink. And I think next month I'm going to be pulling back my Benu Euphoria. I actually did a cleaning. Let me see if I can bring this mess over. I cleaned out a bunch of pens this weekend, and so now I've got to put them all back together. which actually shouldn't take too long. It's just a matter of finding all the parts and putting them where they go. But yeah, so I just have so many beautiful pens that I just want to use all the time. And it's kind of sad to have it's bittersweet. Let me say this differently. It's very bittersweet to have a collection that you love so much and that you want to use all the time, but you have other pens in your collection. So I feel very grateful, but I also wish that I was able to work through my pens and inks a little bit faster so that I can explore and use them more. First world problems, right? Yes. And so one of the things I've been thinking about is if I were to bring back Pennsylvania Fieldstone next month, what pen I want to put it in. So I've been looking at my pens to try to figure out which one's going to go where. Oh, I love this Benu. Yeah, I think this will definitely be in my November lineup. And then I'm just trying to figure out what ink I want to put in it. I might put Birmingham Pen Company Distressed Leather. I might put Sandstone by Birmingham Pen Company. I might do Triple Chocolate by Diamine. Or I could not do a brown ink at all and just pick another ink that I really love. So these are all the pens that I cleaned out. And I have just a, oh, Taz, you've got Distressed Leather in your Benu Euphoria Iced Caramel Latte. So what are your thoughts on that? Because that's kind of what I'm leaning towards. Oops. There we are. Okay, so I might just do it. I think I'm just going to do it. All right. So I'm going to put my pens back in their places, but I think that's going to wrap it up for today. I appreciate each of you for taking the time this evening to spend with me. I love this little community that I've grown, and I have another ink swatching video planning to come out on Thursday, and then I will have my planning videos this weekend, and keep trying to do live a week because I really enjoy this time. And I feel like now I've got this little group of people that we're catching up with each other. So thank you so much. And without further ado, must stop my mumbling and wish you all a lovely evening. And I will see you very soon. Bye.